Welcome back everyone to Showbiz India's Celebrity Profile, and today it is my pleasure to welcome the very lovely Anisha Nagarajan.
Thank you.
And you came from Santa Monica, so the weather must be even more lovely.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. I love living in Santa Monica. It's really nice.
It's very nice. So I want to rewind you back and compliment you. You have an amazing accent in your character on the show.
Thank you very much.
But of course, naturally you have none. You
No.
grow up in USA.
Yeah. I grew up in Pittsburgh. I was born in Evanston because both my parents went to Northwestern. And then they moved to Pittsburgh when I was about 3. And I lived there my entire life. I spent 1 year in India when I was 15. And I think that kind of gave me a lot of inspiration for my character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that
Yeah.
because, I mean, your character Madhuri, she's very shy, she's very demure, and I don't know you very well, but you don't seem that shy,
No,
that demure.
No.
So how do you prepare for that?
Well, it's interesting. I went to boarding school in India for a year when I was about 15, and there was a girl who I went to school with who epitomized Madhuri. What I envision as Madhuri is her. She was so quiet, but if you ever had a question with any homework assignment or anything, she was always at the top of her game. And it was also really funny because we had kind of like an inter-school contest for Indian Independence Day, and she sang the Lata Mangeshkar version of Vande Mataram, and it was, I mean, she sang it better than she did. Like, it was so amazing.
Wow.
And this quiet girl, she came out and did this amazing thing. And I don't know, there's so many aspects that I feel like I derived from being friends and knowing this girl. It's very interesting.
Speaking of amazing voices, we know you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
So are you a trained singer as well?
Well, I took Carnatic classes, vocal classes, from the time that I was about 6. So I did a lot of Indian music growing up.
Lovely.
And I also studied some Western singing, like musical theater. I did a lot of that growing up in high school and that kind of thing. So that's, yeah.
So do you practice?
Well, my aunt is Aruna Sairam. She's a very famous Carnatic vocalist. And when she comes to my house, occasionally I'll sit with her and learn a few songs here and there.
So when you got on to Outsourced, did you know that you might be required to sing in your role?
Well, what's really amazing is that the directors and the producers, they really try to focus on your strengths and bring those out. And Ken Kwapis, who's one of our producers and directed our pilot episode and kind of conceived the idea along with John Jeffcoat, who wrote and directed the original Outsourced the movie. After listening to a CD that I gave him of kind of my stuff that I did in Bombay Dreams, as well as some other jazz standards and that kind of thing that I sing, he said, oh my God, we have to put this in the show. So he talked to Robert Borden, who's our head writer and also one of our showrunners and producers. He talked with him, and then they kind of decided to incorporate it into the storyline.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
When did you first hear that you got the role, and how did you feel?
Oh, well, I'm in the process after several years of still trying to finish my undergrad at NYU. And so I was taking classes at NYU, and my manager calls me and she says, you've got an audition for this pilot, and I go in and I do it, and then I'm back in class, and then the next day I get a call saying, oh, they want to fly you out to LA to test for the show. And I'm like, this is nuts, this is amazing. So I fly to LA, I shoot the test with Ken Kwapis and Robert Borden, and the casting directors and everybody was there. And after it was over, I went back to the hotel and I ran into Ben, who read with me while I was giving my audition. And he didn't have any reaction when we went into the elevator, and so I'm telling my husband, I'm like, oh God, I don't think I booked it because Ben didn't say anything. No. And then I go into my hotel room and I'm sleeping, and then at around 6 a.m. I get a call from my manager and she said, you booked it. And it was crazy. It was really exciting.
So what was the first call you made after that?
My mom.
How sweet. But you'd already done Broadway.
Yeah.
So tell me that experience. That's an amazing experience for an actor, right?
It was phenomenal. I was a sophomore at NYU. I was like 19 when I auditioned. It was amazing. I got to go to London to do a workshop and meet Andrew Lloyd Webber, who produced the show in London. And I mean, for a girl who grew up doing musical theater, it was kind of a dream. It was really amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and then I met my husband in the show, so what more can you ask for? It was really fantastic.
Wow. Looking back now, Outsourced is about to have its season finale.
Yeah.
So any particular episode that is your favorite, you think?
Oh my God. Well, I had so much fun shooting a bunch of different ones. I think that the ones that stick out for me are definitely the episode where I got to sing, which was really amazing, and also the train episode. I think I was talking to Tasneem about that because she was in the episode with us.
Oh, she was? We didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, at least I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the Holy episode was phenomenal to shoot. It was so much fun. And I got to do this kind of like Charlie's Angels bit with Gupta, with Parvesh, which was really fun. And the finales, we shot in Malibu. The set was gorgeous, and we had never shot on location up until that point. So it's going to be really stunning to watch.
And tell me about yourself. So now you're cutting an album as well?
Yeah, I'm working on some of my own original music and kind of trying to see where that goes. It's very preliminary right now, but I'm trying to use my Indian classical music training and kind of infuse it into kind of a folk pop sort of thing. We'll see what happens.
Well, you know, Outsourced has been a pathbreaker for all Daisies. We're so proud to have a show on, and right now things are a little up in the air. It's a little apprehensive. Yeah. We don't know if it's coming back or not. So tell us, what can your fans do to support this and get this?
Well, there's a Facebook group that you guys can join called Save Outsourced, and also anything that you want to write or send to NBC, go for it. Because we have been, so keep doing it.
In conclusion, on a personal note, so how is it like being an actor and being married to an actor?
Oh, he is so understanding of what I'm going through and like everything. And I mean, a lot of people say, you know, it's fire with fire sometimes when you've got two actors together. But I think there's also something really phenomenal about having a fellow artist as not only your companion, but also someone you can work with. We do a lot of music together because he plays the sitar, and anytime I have an audition, we'll like sit together and work on it, and vice versa. If he has something, I'll work on it with him, and so it's very compatible.
How lovely you make music together.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's great.
Yeah. Well, we wish you continued happiness in your married life and, of course, professionally as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out being here.
Absolutely.